So Gary, tell us about this project you got here going on. You've got the magazine and the real car.
Yep. This is Stephen and Lynette Evans's 1960 Chevy Impala that they built. I've just finished recreating it as a model car for them, and I'm actually doing this one for my own collection. So sometimes if I get the time to, I'll build a second one for myself so I can display it and show people what I can do, and yeah, that makes a lot of fun for people to see cars that I have actually finished as well, that I still can transport them around and show them to other people.
How long has it taken you to make this one here?
That's probably about 35.5 hours so far at this stage. Stephen Lynette's one that I actually built for them took a bit longer. We put a fuel injected big block engine that was aftermarket in it, and we had a lot of fitting issues with it. Bit of modification to the subframe in the front of the car, and changing oil pans and whatnot to get the engine sitting low enough so we could set the factory bonnet on it.
Wow. Okie dokie.
What I've got here is a 1944 pickup that I've been working on for a wee while now. Its colour is Mars Gold, and I built one originally for the customer who had built the truck Colin Willoughby. So I built this is the second one for myself with the supercharged flathead motor, aftermarket heads and all that on it. There's still quite a bit of detailing to be done to it yet. We've got to give it a wet sand, clear coat it, and then we can start assembly work and detail of the rest of it, spark plug leads and that sort of thing on the motor. So yeah, it's just a bit of a mock-up now just to check whether things are going to fit right without too many problems.
Wow, and here's a little a Dremel.
Yeah, Dremel power tool. I use this quite frequently for machining stuff, especially chassis and that. If you want to modify them, if it's got moulded in stuff that you don't want, you can use this machine. That's a lot quicker than sitting down with a hand file and trying to file it out. So it comes back to a safety thing too. Wear safety glasses and that sort of thing while using it. And also I've got one here with a flexi cable on it, which is very much like a dentist tool. So we should have taken up dentistry. But it's great for helping out with modifications as well, because I also plastic weld the model cars with soldering iron. So if we roof chop something, we can use that, weld it back, and it's stronger than actually using glue and lasts longer. So we can do a lot of modification work in that too.
You got all your files there?
Yeah, files. You need a heap of different tools. It's like any sort of thing to do with craft work or anything like that. You might use a tool 2 or 3 times, but then there's other tools like the Dremel power tools, the soldering iron that you can use frequently, very frequently.
And so here you got all your bits and pieces, all your spare bits and pieces, and boxes and boxes and boxes of boxes.
Aftermarket parts, spare parts, kits of rob parts out of that I'll go and buy, say 10 or 15 cars of, and I might use the chassis or the wheels out of. I also do a lot of trading with other guys throughout New Zealand for parts and that. So yeah, it's really good.
It's a big organisation.
Yeah, it comes down to contacts. Modelling is a very expensive scene now because of the amount of money you've got to outlay to buy a kit. When I started building them, they were sort of between $25 and $30. Now we're looking at anything up to $70 plus for just a plain car kit.
Wow. Oh, let's go into the museum.
Yeah, let's take a step up and take a look at some real stuff.
Yeah. Well, so now here I am with Gary in is this the museum part, or was this the showroom?
This is the storeroom.
The storeroom.
Yeah. Where you've got to have to build, what I'm doing with replicas of people's cars, you've got to have a mixture of stuff. So
how many cars how many boxes of cars would you have in here? Because I mean, it's just like it's crammed.
It's somewhere between about 1,050 and 1,100 unbuilt model cars sitting in here.
How many years are you planning on living?
I need to live a long time.
This guy's going to live as long as Methuselah, or he's going to have to get everything done.
I think, it's one of those things that I'll probably get a little bit later in life, I might end up like opening up a shop or something like that, and helping other people to get into it.
Because it's a thing that should be encouraged, you know.
Yeah, it's a dying art form the way I see it. Kids are no longer interested in putting things together. They would rather sit down and push buttons, or slide a screen or something like that. But when I was a kid, you didn't do that sort of thing. You went out and made things with your hands.
Yeah, well, I played around with little model airplanes and cars and all that. You know, as a kid, you built them. Everything had glue all over it. Your fingers were stuck together. Nothing ever worked. So you took it outside and used the slug gun on it. You didn't use the slug gun on anything.
No. Like I've been doing this since I was about 12 or 13 years old. So, and then when I left high school, got into a little bit more seriously. Instead of just building model cars for the sake of building model cars, I started building replicas because I could see the reaction of people's faces. And sure, I had good reactions to the other cars I was building, but when you can go out and replicate something in a smaller form and go, hey, look, this is just made from a plastic kit set, and it's very surprising.
Like, you know, it's probably a hard question to ask in a way, but what would have been the pinnacle car that you've built so far? Have you done that, or not even reached that one yet?
I've come very, very close to, you know, some of the cars that I have done where they've been very, very highly modified, and you think that's got to be, there's two in particular I can think of. Alistair Davidson's old 36 Ford sedan that was satin black with gold and red flames on it. It was made from a 5-window coupe, and I chopped it, lengthened it, and did a heap of work on it, and it just about did my head in trying to do all the flame work on it. But when it was finished, it's absolutely unbelievable. And now Alistair's actually got it in his house in Auckland, and he loves it to bits. So, and then there was another lady approached me for an XP Falcon, which you couldn't get a kit for. So I sat down and came up with the idea to chop two kits up, make one body, and then custom make front and back ends out of it. And when you saw it, you thought it was a real model. You know, that someone had actually produced an XP Falcon model. So.
Now, tell us about some of these in the cabinet here.
Well, all of these that are in this cabinet are all New Zealand, either street driven or track driven cars. That is my own private collection of stuff that I've got. There's some that the owners have actually got, and I've got a second one myself. Some of them are one-offs because you just can't get the parts for to do another one. So if a person comes to me and I've done one, they own the car and they want to buy it, I'm quite happy to sell it to them. There's no real money to be made in these. I would be doing it for a job if I could. Even though the costs them are reasonably high, you just can't give this sort of stuff away. You know, like you put 160 hours into something.
Oh yeah, 160 hours, you know, man.
I've done a few where the most one is 160 hours over 5 years. Then I've done like 120 on Alistair Davidson's car. It's the XP Falcon, I think it was up around 125 or 130 hours on that. So when you start calculating that out, and then you work a 40-hour week as well. Yeah,
it takes up a lot of your time.
Yeah, so I've got a very understanding wife.
Yeah, you'd have to have, and a good dog that doesn't bite. At the moment.
He's my great guard dog that lets me know if there's people around when I'm working in the workshop, especially at night. I leave him out just to wander around in the backyard so I can keep an eye on things, because if I'm at the back of the house, I can't see anything. So, but this is a fantastic, you know, thing to get into. I'd like to see some of the older guys get back into it that used to do it. So, yeah.
Oh, well, Gary, thank you so much, man, for opening up. And
worries, Doug.
Matt, you all better just really enjoy this and just really have a good look. Hey, this is just like, this is the little hot rod show. You know? It is.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Woo!